You want to achieve mastery. What is the key? I have it for you. Repetition. Repetition is the key to mastery. Anytime you have a beginner, a novice, and you see them becoming an expert, a master, you'll see there's hours and hours, some say 10,000 hours required to reach the level of mastery. Now, this 10,000 hours number, a famous number opined by an author, it's not a fixed idea. You shouldn't take it as I need to get exactly 10,000 hours. That's exactly how much you need to clock in. But think of it more metaphorically. Roughly around those 10,000 hours, a copious amount of time I put into any particular skill or discipline, I would have quote unquote mastered this area. I'd become one of the best, the top 1% in this area, in this skill, in this habit, in this thing I want to do well in. So repetition is the key. And you don't necessarily need to do 10,000 hours to see improvement. Absolutely not. Think of any beginner. You have a beginner, they might be like a white belt when it comes to martial arts, and they put hours in, maybe they get to 100, and they're pretty good. They might go to blue belt level, and then they go up and they go up and they go up to eventually black belt. But even the blue belt in a martial art, you see they're pretty good. They're considerably better than a white belt who is a complete noob, complete zero experience or hardly any experience in a topic. So you want to get better at speaking, put in the hours. But you might come back to me and say, wait a minute, I've been speaking all my life. I would have maybe reached 10,000 hours. I'm not great at speaking. There's a difference between casual speaking and focused, intentional speaking enshrined upon the intent of enhancing the way you speak. You want to make sure that every time you're doing this, you're focusing on being better, being a better orator, a better communicator, not just casually conversing. What does that look like practically? So, you want to get better at communicating. Every single time you speak, and you should speak, look at the tips, the tricks, the areas you were not so good at, the failures you had last time, and how you can improve on them. So, I'm speaking now. I realize that perhaps I'm speaking too quickly and I need to slow down. Next time I speak, I'm recalling, actually, I was speaking too fast. I need to intentionally slow down and enunciate my words and not use ums and ers in my speech. Now, next time I'm speaking in a slower, more articulate, and filler-free way. Filler-free way, actually. To have a more fuller, enriching conversation. And see, now I've improved in the way I speak because I self-audited myself. I look back, what went well, the three W's, what went well, and even better if, EBI. Just remember the three W's, what went well, EBI, even better if. It would be better if I spoke more slower, enunciated my words, I did not use ums and ers, filler words. So next time I speak, I'm focusing on this. And then a week later, a month later, I look back and I think, okay, you know what, actually, I need to speak with more energy. I'm too dull in my speech. And I'm interrupting someone, so I need to let them speak. So I'm going to focus on these two areas. And the next time I speak, I'm going to avoid these two. And you'll see, you're constantly looking at yourself, finding areas to improve on. This is known as amelioration. To constantly improve, to constantly enhance yourself. This is key when it comes to working on and developing any area, to gain mastery in any area, especially relevant when it comes to speaking. So, key takeaways. Look back at yourself. What have I done wrong? What areas do I need to improve? And then focusing on improving them in the time you put in this area. Keep practicing speaking. Keep practicing conversing with others. And focus on improving on these certain areas which you looked back at before and realize these are areas I need to work on. And you'll see, with practice, you're getting better and better and better. You're working on these flaws, focusing down on key areas which improve in your speech. And you'll see, in time, not just in 10,000 hours, but in weeks, you would have made significant strides in your communication. Just in weeks. Now, if you constantly work on this, daily, weekly, monthly, after a year, you would have made huge improvements. Perhaps you'd be unrecognizable in how you first started speaking and how you're speaking now. I for sure have seen that in myself when I first began this. When I was speaking, I was not confident, nervous, using as I didn't know anything about public speaking. I wanted to, so I learnt and I practiced. And even now, I'm still practicing. The road to improvement never ends, but I've made significant strides in my communication, and you can